afternoon, students. Today, shall we discuss any case study on protection switchgear? Yes? Anyone?
Yes, ma'am. So today we are going to see a case study on the real world caused by the circuit breaker malfunction. It focuses on the Northeast Blackout of 2003 as a major case study. The study highlights the importance of protection system in power networks. Circuit breakers play a critical role in isolating faults in the system, and these devices can lead to widespread outages. This presentation provides analysis, causes, and preservative measures.
Okay.
Next is the introduction. A power system depends on protection devices for safe operation. Circuit breakers are used to isolate faulty sections quickly. They operate based on signal received from protective relays. If breakers fail, faults remains active in the system. This can lead to instability and eventual system collapse. Therefore, reliable breakers operation is essential for grid safety.
Okay. So the next is about objective of this case study. Who's going to say the objective of this case study?
Hello guys. The objective of the case study is the main objective of the analysis circuit breaker manufacturing, and I aim to understand how faults lead to blackouts. The study explains the sequence of an event during the incident. It also evaluates the impact of the power system, and another goal of the identify technical failures include. Finally, it suggests a method to prevent similar incidents.
Okay. What is blackouts overview? Who's going to say?
The blackout overview is the Northeast Blackout of 2003 affected us US and Canada. It's impacted more than 50 million people across regions. The outage lasted from several hours to day in some areas. Major cities expressed complete power futures during the event. The blackout case distribution of a transmission and industries. The remain of the one of largest blackout is history.
Okay. Next, who's going to say about the protection concept?
Protection concept. Power system protection involves a relay and circuit breakers. Relay detect abnormal conditions like a fault in the systems. They send a triple signal to circuit breaker for action. Circuit breaker then isolated the fault section. This prevents damage to requirement and maintenance stability. Proper conditions device is very important.
So next, what about other thing?
Role of circuit breaker. Circuit breaker interrupt a fault current under the abnormal conditions. They must operate within a very short time. Fast operations prevents damage to equipment and lines. They also ensure a safety of a personnel and infrastructures. Different types of breakers are used in power systems.
Okay, next is who's going to say about the role of circuit breakers?
Role of circuit breakers. Circuit breakers interpret fault current under abnormal conditions. They must operate within a very short time. Fast operation prevent damage to equipment lines. They also ensure safety of personalized and infrastructure. Different types of breakers are used in power systems. Their reliability is critical from system stability. Pre-failure conditions. Before the blackout, the systems was heavily loaded. Transmission lines were operating near their limits. Some monitoring systems were not functioning correctly. There was inadequate awareness, system conditions. There's vegetation's management issues also existed there in the areas. There are factors increasing the risk of the system failures.
Okay. So then, who's going to say about the sequence of the event?
Sequence of events. A transmission line came into contact with the tears. This caused a fault in the system. The relay detected the fault and sent a trip signal. However, breakers operates and the system response were inadequate. The fault was not cleared in time. This led to further disturbance in the network.
The next is
Breaker malfunction. Some breakers did not operate as expected during the fault. There were delayed in fault isolation. Coordination between relays and breakers was poor. This allowed fault current to continue flowing. The system experienced increasing stress due to the delay. Breaker malfunction distributed significantly to the blackout.
okay. Finally, what are the things? Next, we have with cascading failures.
So the cascading failures, the failures to isolate. So I'm going to say about the cascading failures. These failures to isolate the fault caused overload by the nearby lines. These lines tripped due to the excessive current. The disturbance spread across the interconnected systems, and the multiple failures are occurred within a short time. The system could not recover from these events, so this results in cascading blackouts across the regions.
Okay.
Next about the impact made by
Impact
this
of
blackouts.
blackouts.
The blackout affected millions of people across the cities. The transportation system such as train were disrupted. So the hospitalities and the emergency services faced more difficulties. And the industry also experienced the major product losses, and the communication system were also affected. The economic loss was extremely high.
So what
And
about
next, about the technical analysis, the root cause included the poor vegetation management, and the monitoring system failed to provide an accurate information. The breaker operation delays worsened the situation. To the production of the coordination was not properly implemented, and next the backup system responded too late to prevent the damages, and overall the system reliability was compromised.
okay. So that's all about what lesson we have learned finally is
So from this we have learned that the reliable breakers operation is essential for the system safety, and to properly maintain and must be carried out regularly. This production coordination should be carefully designed, and in the real-time monitoring system it must be functional. The human error should be minimized through the trainings, and learning from this failure helps improve the system design.
improve the system design. Okay. So anyone here to have an primitive measures? Who's going to say about primitive measures?
The preventive measures consist of regular inspection of circuit breakers is necessary, and then advanced monitoring system should be implemented, and then the vegetarian transmission line must be controlled, and smart grid technologies can be improve reliability, and then the automation can reduce human errors in the operation, and the strong protection scheme showed the development.
So finally, we have a conclusion. Who's going to conclude?
So the conclusion is the Northeast Blackout of 2003 is a significant case study. It shows how small failure can lead to a major outages. Circuit breakers malfunction can play a key role in the event. Proper protection system are essential in the grid stability. Preventive measures can reduce the risk of blackouts. Future system must focus on reliability and the automation. Thank you.
Okay, students, today we are discussed about case study on blockouts which happens in Norway 2020, 2003 Northeast Blackouts of at 2003, and I hope you understood what about case study, what happens, and what are the technical fault actually happens, how we may overcome the problem in futures, etc. Okay, thank you.